Hey, my name is Brett Tanner, and I'm here to help you build wealth in a really simple way. There's a lot of confusion around the real estate market, especially in Phoenix, Arizona. A lot of people talk about Phoenix, Arizona in the national media. And one of the reasons they do that is we're the only county in the country where 100,000 transactions occur in a single market. There's 78,000 agents to do those 100,000, so it actually happens to be the most competitive market. Beyond those factors, right, there's a number of reasons of why this is occurring today, right? Home prices, if you look out in the economy and you read the headlines, home prices should actually be going down, and they're not. And there's three reasons I'm gonna walk you through why that's occurring right now. Number one, since the end of 2022 and now, rates have come down quite a bit, which has created affordability, which has put more buyers back into the market. So one of the changes that occurred late last year was lower rates. And I think most people realize that rates went from nearly 8 and they've come down pretty significantly. As we're talking here today, they're in the mid sixes, right? Maybe high sixes. So rates coming down has a huge impact on affordability and who can actually go out and buy right now. And when rates make that change, a lot of people don't realize that a reduction of that amount actually allows you to move your spending capacity up pretty significantly. So if you were thinking about a $600,000 home and rates were at 6, they went to 8, your affordability might have been a $500,000 home. But as that comes back down, you're now able to maybe get that home you wanted and step up slightly. So now with rates coming down, right, you've got demand pushing up because there's so many more people that are able to buy now, right? As rates go up, every time they raise interest rates by a point, you knock out a significant portion of the buyers. Every time rates come back down, you open up a new pool of buyers, right? All of this leads to increased demand. I mean, in fact, if you look at the census data, California had over 500,000 people leave in 2 years, from 2020 to 2022. Many of those ended up in Arizona. So we've got more people leaving either the cold or certain cities, and they're moving to better, more pro-business environments with better prices, better affordability. The second reason, because of rates come down, that increases demand. So more buyers out there for too few homes, prices will go up. For states in the South, like Arizona, Nevada, Texas, Florida, you're definitely seeing the warmer states having a lot more migration, and that continues to happen. Again, more people moving in, more demand. On top of all this, in Arizona, we've got over 200 people moving here every single day. Many of those are homeowners, but that's put huge demand on our apartments for rent, but on our builders, right? They're way behind on building homes now. We're way behind where we would have been had we not had COVID and the meltdown of 2008. We still have a housing shortage here in Arizona for some time. The third reason is many sellers are locked in at a really, really low interest rate, so they don't want to move. They would love to move up, and Arizona has been this trade-up market forever. You got the person selling at 400 that's going to 600,000. Today, they're not going to trade up because they've got a 3% interest rate, and today they would be in the mid sixes as we're filming this right now. So the market's not all doom and gloom. There's interesting things out there to pay attention to. Arizona continues to be, and most markets that have good job growth continue to be unaffected. So pay attention to your local real estate market, right? You're gonna hear the averages, which is all across the country. The average weather temperature right now might be 75 degrees across the country. That's not super helpful if you're living in North Dakota or you're living in Miami and what's going on in your area. So real estate is talked about nationally, but it's a local thing to your market. Make sure you're with an expert, you understand what's going on in your market, how you can capitalize and take advantage of it right now. So right now, sellers aren't all selling. And there's a couple reasons for that. We mentioned that before. As rates go up, if I've got a 3% interest rate and I'm looking at that new home that's gonna be several $100,000 more and my rates doubled, it creates a massive difference in my payment than what I might have been used to if the rates were at 3. Another reason sellers aren't selling is millions of Americans have locked in historically low interest rates. Some data I saw recently, as many as 9 out of 10 mortgages are currently below 4%, where our average rate today on a new purchase mortgage would be 6.5%. So you've got a lot of sellers sitting with historically low interest rates where prices have risen dramatically, and they're going to stay put where they are until rates come down or until something else changes. The average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage went to 6.28%. And just a year earlier, you could have got rates at 2.88%, leaving you a huge, huge gap in what you could have had before versus where you're at now. According to the Wall Street Journal, many homeowners today have a golden handcuff, right? They love the home they have, they want something bigger, but they've got a historically low interest rate. And so what do? Do they wait it out, or do they bite the bullet and move up today? And I think that's what's causing many homeowners to stay put or just keep thinking about what they can do with their real estate. The good news, if you're thinking about buying a home and you want to think about it long term, right? Homes, there's a ton of data that will show you that people that own a home versus those that don't, over a long period of time, they end up with a radically higher net worth. So if you're thinking about buying a home, you're going to be there long term, and you can absolutely afford it. now is still the time to buy a home. Here's the good news, right? If you're thinking about buying and you're looking at your home as a long-term real estate investment, it always works out. You can never time the market. There's never the person who hits the very peak, and there's never the person it's hard to hit the very, very bottom. But if you're looking at real estate and if you're always thinking about like an index fund, it's gonna perform fairly average over an extended, very long period of time. And if you think about that in terms of real estate, that's what it's performed. If you go back over a 30+ year average, you're gonna see real estate, depending on your market, at around 5 to 6% average over a very, very long period of time. So the good news is, if you're thinking about real estate and you go buy it right, and that's the key part, you've got to get in right on the front end. All the money in real estate is made when you buy. So if you're looking at it that way, you're looking long-term, real estate continues to be where all the wealthy really hold their money. You know, when I look at my own investing, I've been now investing for over 20 years, and I've bought homes in all the markets. And sure, was there a better time to buy? Would I have loved to have gone back and bought more in 2010 than I did? Sure. The truth is I look at it a little differently today. I look at I'm always buying. I would love to buy better in some times, and I won't buy as many in others, but I'm always buying real estate because I know it's my best hedge and the best chance for me to create wealth in my life. So it may be crazy when you go out and what you see on the news, you see different facts out there today. It may seem crazy that home prices are still continuing to rise. And how long will that last? The truth is no one can possibly predict the longer term home prices, but in the short term, it's all dictated by your inventory. Simple supply and demand controls home pricing economics. Right now, you're definitely going to see prices rise in the short term here. So if you're thinking about buying a home, now is definitely the time.